What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting week of Overwatch. This week is week 5 of the Overwatch University League in the North American region. My name is Tough on Dirt, and joining me today is my co-host, the beautiful, the immaculate, and the sexy, Tormented by Gnomes. What's going on, Gnomes?
How's it going, everybody? Thank you for joining us on the stream today. We are excited to bring this Overwatch action to you. Let me briefly introduce my colleague, Ninja Man Matt, who will be helping us with analysis today, also the Reinhardt on my team. And I'd like to just say that I appreciate every one of you for viewing, because there's a lot of other Overwatch stuff going on this weekend. It is an exciting time for Overwatch esports. Today we have a match for you in Division 9. And this is going to be Meat Masters versus Sigma Force playing their round 5 match. Meat Masters is playing home, and their home maps are Hollywood and Kings Row. And Sigma Force also has Kings Row, but Eichenwald, because of the way that the map pool works. The map pool will therefore be Hollywood first, then Eichenwald, then Lijiang Tower. Currently in the series, Meat Masters has been doing very well in their division, Division 9 NA, with 3 losses and 1 win. Sigma Force is catching up on their matches. They have 2 losses so far. This will be the 3rd match of the season that they're playing. And Meat Masters currently has an average SR of 2962, with Sigma Force clocking in at 2914. So only a gap of about 50 points in SR, not something I'd expect to make a significant difference.
Looking at these teams, I did get a chance also to talk to the teams on a one-on-one level and just really kind of see how they became teammates, how often they practice and stuff like that. So I'm going to give you a rundown of what I learned while talking to these guys. So first off with Meat Masters, I wanted to know, how did your team meet and how did you guys get together? And it looks like the majority of them were actually friends in real life. Some of them are even roommates together, so that's exciting, man. So they have friends back home. They have all sorts of friends. It's basically all college students. And they all know each other personally, and that can be a key factor for a lot of teams, man. Oh, we also have how often do you practice? And these guys practice about twice a week, but they have jobs, they got school, and guys, Overwatch is a hobby at the end of the day, so they got real lives to go to. But they do practice twice a week, which is a lot better than I do. And they also, I also wanted to ask how they chose their team name. And so they said they have huge Roadhogs, and they like showing off the Roadhogs, so that's why they're going to be the Meat Masters. Now let's go on to the Sigma Force and see how their team came about. So their team met in real life as well. Oh, that's going to be cool. They did a little bit of recruiting on Reddit and on Overwatch University. So they met a few people in real life, and they acquired some other people online there. And they practice about 2 times a week as well. But if they're working up to a big battle or like a big game, they'll squeeze in 4 games a week. And they chose their name just because there was actually a lot of conflict in choosing the name, and they ultimately just voted on it. So they voted on the Sigma Force, and that's how they came to it. But I'm looking forward to both these teams. It looks like as far as their practice goes and as far as how their team composition got together, they're going to be really good rivals.
Excellent. So I'm hearing from Team Meat Masters. Actually, I need to change these. Sigma Force and Meat Masters is ready to go.
In the meantime, what I'm going to do...
Yep, go ahead.
I'll tell you guys a little bit about Overwatch University, because we do have a lot going on with Overwatch University. This is how I got my casting job. This is how the 3 people you're going to see on the stream got their casting jobs. So if you're interested in learning more about Overwatch University or how to get involved with us, because we are the largest and the biggest and the juiciest recreational Overwatch league, follow the link below in Discord to the channel's description, and really just take a look at the website, take a look at the Discord, and this is where you can find the best of the best to play Overwatch with. You can find teams, you can find casters, you can find people, you can find randos if you have a team and are missing, say, a tracer or say a soldier. So if you really need to learn more about Overwatch or want to get involved, Overwatch University is where to go. And also, please hit that follow button, guys. It does help the channel a lot, and it lets us know that what we're doing means a lot to you guys. So thank you so much again.
Looks like both teams are ready, ladies and gentlemen. Sigma Force will be playing defense on Hollywood against Meat Masters offense in round 1 of the 5th week of Overwatch University Division 9. We're going to go ahead and get started here.
Let's do it! Hype! And I'm looking forward to this game. Hollywood's a pretty good map too, guys, because what you got going on with Hollywood is not only do you have it's a hybrid map essentially. So you have the point and then you have the cart there. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how these two teams approach it, and really interesting to see who takes a dominant stand on this map. Oh, so right off the bat here, we already got team compositions coming out onto the playing field here. What kind of team composition are you seeing here so far there, Gnomes?
I'm expecting to see a dive comp just because dive comp is fairly meta at this time. Currently, Randolph Thor playing offense on Meat Masters is showing Genji, backed up with Zacchaeus on McCree and Perp Ribs on Roadhog, appropriate for Meat Masters. Edman showing Reinhardt, Brew on Ana, Ling Ling on Soldier, and Zacchaeus has changed over to Lucio, so it looks like they opted not to go with the triple DPS double hit scan strategy. Meanwhile, coming out of the defense, Hayes playing Soldier, Therian on Ana, Wits on Lucio, Shamfest playing Roadhog, Crumb on Zarya, and Death Dragon on Reinhardt. With one switch, Wits seems to have swapped off to Zenyatta. So, it looks like their setup is pretty good here for fighting against, say, a Fa Mercy combination. They have the long range distance, they have Ana and Zenyatta, both good at taking out flying targets. And they're currently setting up on the cafe, which is, again, a very common place for folks to defend. Meanwhile, and half the team is going up onto the high ground as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, the members of Meat Masters are getting ready. I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Play-by-Play, Tough on Dirt. Take us out the gate.
Oh, yeah, and here we go. Right off the bat, we got Reinhardt getting ready to go in. Let's see what these guys can do. And we do, once again, we have Meat Masters on the offense going in pretty strong. They do have the Lucio pushing up there, so they're going to go in there pretty quick. We have Soldier coming in the front side along with Reinhardt as well. They're going to go really for this front area. They might take a left flank here. Looks like they're going for that left flank up the stairs, and here comes the big battle. Reinhardt v. Reinhardt already. Zarya and Reinhardt on the defense doing a little bit of damage, and we do already have a Soldier going down. Reinhardt from the offense trying to do a little bit of damage in there and hopefully take out the defensive Reinhardt. We do have a Genji go down in the tier up there as well. It looks like the offense has taken the upper side there. Reinhardt does have a Discord orb on him, so we're going to see him take a little bit more damage than he usually does, but he's going to get that off him very quickly. It looks like they're going to hold this top area very well. Actually going to wait until the Soldier gets back and he's just come back into the fray here. So now we're seeing a little bit of a fight for balconies, man. What are you seeing, though?
Well, one of the key points here is going to be the square off between the two Reinhardts. We saw the moment that they went up that high ground through the narrow territory, they became vulnerable to those fire strikes. And props to Death Dragon for the defensive fire strikes. But it looks like it's now Ryan versus Ryan. Ryan charges out the other Ryan, pushing him all the way back into the dumpster and immediately dropping an Earth Shatter.
Ooh, well played. It looks like the defense is going to clean up here pretty nicely with only a Genji and an Ana, or and a Soldier on the point. And that Soldier is up there all alone, and Genji does have to fall back. It looks like defense held really well here. How did they hold that so well there,
I think it came down to that Reinhardt versus Reinhardt battle once again, and then the charge into the back line. It was a good, effective usage of ults. Speaking of ults, here comes Dragons, countered out by the Zenyatta ultimate, going back and forth on the point. Both Death Dragon gets slept by the offensive Ana. Roadhog versus Roadhog violence inside the cafe. It is a pandemonium on the point here, ladies and gentlemen.
You have Roadhog v. Zarya now, but looks like I'm sorry, Reinhardt v. Zarya now. Reinhardt's gonna come in on the point, and that's when the tactical visor comes in from the offensive team. Ling Ling going in hard, does get a couple kills, but actually doesn't get any kills with that and has to fall back. Looks like that was a pretty big Q miss there, but but he's still gonna have a little bit of time to get back with his team. They are holding that upper region of that point pretty well there, but the defense is holding a little bit stronger here. Once again, we do have Reinhardt coming in the front-hand side with Roadhog. Edmund's going to go in for a little bit of damage. Roadhog does go in for a hook, misses it on the Zarya, though, and that's when the defensive Reinhardt comes in. He's got a shield on him, going for the Lucio if he can, trying to smash down the offensive Reinhardt and go for a little bit of damage there. That's when the beats drop by Zekas. Oh, a huge hammer down. Lucio does go down, and Reinhardt gets down and now it's Reinhardt v. Zarya in the middle there. Oh, and the offensive Reinhardt's going to go down. It looks like Death Dragon's doing a huge amount of work for his team here with the Sigma Force, man.
And I think that one thing that would be, to Meat Master's advantage, would be a little bit more of a dive composition. They've been going in with the Reinhardt squaring off, and Death Dragon has been taking the better of those engagements. They just need a better way to move on and force a fight under their terms. And right now they're struggling to pull that off.
Speaking of which, though, Genji does have his ult. It looks like he's going to try to pop that as soon as he can. If you guys notice, he is going to take the high ground on the left-hand side there. Going in with his team, though, as well. The whole team's going on the left-hand side. Once again, looks like he's going to enter via the staircase. And Genji's going to hop in his ult just as soon as he can. Here he goes. Pops it, going for the Ana. Can he get the Ana? Does get the Ana. Well played. Going for the Zarya as well. Zarya has the shield. Oh, and does get taken out by the Reinhardt. Man, that is disappointing. Only one kill there, but it does start the fight off. And we do have two people going down for the defense. The defense looks like it's gonna have to back out here. We do actually have Ana and Reinhardt slowly but surely falling off the point, and that means the offense is gonna finally get to take that first point. Well played. What a key.
And with 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock, it came down a little bit to the wire, but they were able to eventually break through. That last fight, they had ult advantage. I want to say I saw it was a 4-2 ult advantage. They capitalized on it. At a certain point, if you're not getting anywhere on offense, you can really just wait until you have 6 ults and then kill everybody.
Oh, here comes a huge Graviton surge with a Roadhog ult as well, and that's going to clean up the offensive team. Well played. That was a really, really big move there. How do you see it on your end, Gnome?
Not a huge fan of the counter Earth Shatter coming out of Edman. At that point, half of his team was in there. He might have been trying to save them, but that fight definitely wasn't going to turn around. I'm not sure if you could see that from his perspective, but it would have been nice to have that Earth Shatter in this upcoming battle instead.
Especially with the ult composition here, man. We got 3 ults still being held here for the defensive team, and one of them is a soldier ult, so that means that anytime he can put out huge DPS for his team there. The offense is coming in with a dry push, and it looks like they're actually being held at those doors. Those doors are often let go, but it looks like Sigma Force really wants to hold this choke. We have Reinhardt v Reinhardt on the point there, going for a little bit of damage. Oh, but the defensive Reinhardt does go down. That's gonna mean that team Meat Masters, there we go. Team Meat Masters can finally get the push they were looking for through those doors.
Notice a swap, Randolph Thor dropping Tracer and going to Genji instead. Now, on the one hand, Tracer obviously can be highly effective on this map. On the other, what are they going to do about that high ground? Without Genji being able to climb up, how are they going to contest Haze? Now with the Nano Visor going off, they're about to pay for that.
Oh yeah, Hayes coming in here huge, man. He's nano boosted and he's got the visor going in. Takes out the Reinhardt. Tried to go for the Roadhog as well, but Roadhog's a very, very heavy class. Doesn't get quite as much damage, but does get the Roadhog in the end. Very well played there. The offense is going to have to find a new way to push, especially with that soldier on the high ground. There's not anybody on their team that can really contest him, like you said, Gnomes.
And that is the best way to get choked out in this stage. Actually, the second best way. The best way is to have one of your team members get staggered out. Randolph Thor trying to go for the high ground in order to contest it out, but forced back and driven off by several members, ultimately perishing before Crumb's ultimate fire. That's going to cost them a good 20 seconds on this push.
But we only got 12 seconds left in the push, and we really need we have a soldier v soldier on the top now. Ling Ling versus Hayes. But it looks like the real fight's going to be on the cart. Reinhardt's coming in. Roadhog's finally popping his ult on the point as well. And that's when we have a tactical visor coming in from the offense, nano boosted as well. We're going to get a little bit of damage, take out the Ana and take out the Lucio for the defensive team. So that's going to be no heals for them. Soldier does go down as well. Finally a cohesive push. It looks like that might be the one that they needed to get all the way in. Oh, I don't know if they're going to contest this, man. It looks like defense is actually going to let this point be taken.
Last chance to stop them out.
Yeah, last chance. We'll see. Zarya looks like
not
she
a lot
wants to
that you can really do in a situation like that. I mean, at this point, unless you had ultimate advantage. Oh, they're going for it. Here comes the Zarya ult. Ethereum taking out Randolph Thor. Didn't quite get the wipe they were looking for. Do you think they're going to hold off?
Oh, man. I don't know. The offense might be able to might not be able to come back. Reinhardt does go down. Looks like he's the only one on the point for the offense. And wow, what a defense going on there, man. I did not expect that at all. Oh, that last point where Zarya popped her ult.
What are your thoughts on that last hold? Because
oh my God,
that easily could have gone either way.
That was a very, very risky maneuver. I mean, generally, whenever we can push that far back, we usually want to set up for the next push, because that would have just really set them back. Like you said, a good 20, 30 seconds having to do a re-push after they spawned.
I'm surprised that it worked out for them. And I think they probably went into that with the confidence of knowing that they had Zarya ult in their pocket. And no, because they used the Zarya ult, then they wiped, then they came back.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Well, like you were saying, they definitely were trying to get a team wipe with that Zarya ult.
it looked like I got pretty darn close there at the end. Very well played by both teams, but I think that's going to be how many 2 points for Team Sigma Force?
No, that's 2 points on the board for Meat Masters. Sigma Force now swapping over to the attack. Hayes still on Soldier, showing D.Va now. Etherean playing Mercy, Witz showing Lucio. Shamfest, highly unlikely to be going out the door with that dancing Santa. Just tilling in their spawn. Crumb on the Pharah, much more likely. We are going to see that Farm Mercy action that's very popular, especially on point 1 of this map, and good through the Western phase as well. Death Dragon showing Winston. So the Winston D.Va combo has been extremely popular recently. What's now showing Junkrat, and for good reason. Meanwhile, not a lot of changes on the side of Meat Masters. Randall Thor going with a defensive Genji, Zacchaeus on Zenyatta, Perp Ribs staying with the Roadhog, Edman on the Reinhardt, Abaru on Ana, and Ling Ling on Soldier. So like I said last time, this is an anti-Pharah loadout.
And it looks like we do have that Pharah Mercy combo, so it's going to be interesting to see how the defense is, or if the offense is able to break through that Pharah Mercy or break through that combo there.
And now, this is a true dive bomb we're seeing coming out on the offensive side, so expect this to be fast and furious.
It is very fast. They're already on the left-hand stairs there, up with the Lucio. Lucio speeding him up right to the point here. We have Winston hopping in very quickly along with Genji. Gonna go ahead and try to get the Ana if they can. Soldier does get a potion on him from the Ana, but looks like they're both gonna go down in, or Soldier's gonna go down in the end there. Looks like Ana doesn't have much health either. Reinhardt, Edmund doing a great job of taking out the Genji, but he does have to fight everybody on the team almost. Fighting a D.Va as well. D.Va gets pushed out into her squishy body, but looks like Sigma Force is going to penetrate this defense fairly well. Looks like defensive Genji is going for the Mercy. Can he get the kill? Oh, not quite. It looks like the defense here is really, let's see, really holding up. Actually,
that stagger is going to cost them, catching that rocket as Death Dragon was just about to round the corner. That is going to do them no favors whatsoever.
And for a second there, it looked like the defense was going to fall apart slowly, but we really just had the offense. The offense wasn't able to clench that push. They had a really good push up to the left-hand corner, a really good penetration with Winston, and oh, huge hook! Oh, huge hook from Pork Ribs. What am I saying, man? And now we finally have Winston on the point going down as well. D.Va into the house. We're going to go down as well. That's going to be another push that's going to fail for the offensive team here. Meat Masters doing a great
job. Would have liked to have gotten up to. No, I agree. Meat Masters is doing an excellent hold here, but look at the stagger coming out. I feel bad. Oh, savage. Anyways, I was going to say that what Meat Masters did a good job there is bending instead of breaking. When it looked they were getting aggressively dove on, they managed to pull back. You know, maybe they lost a couple of fights, but they gave ground tactically, and Sigma Force went for blood, and they were able to turn around and punish them. But look at the ultimate economy going on the board. There's about to be 4 ultimates for Sigma Force, and there are 5 almost, nearly 6 for our defenders. So this is going to be a bloodbath.
We do have a rocket barrage coming in, but it gets quickly taken out there. That's unfortunate from the offensive team. It looks like they're still going to go with this push. Lucio on the point does get taken down. We do have Winston put to sleep right up there, and he's just going to be left there to sleep in the corner. We do actually have a res come in, and that's when Genji comes in with his ult, do a little bit of damage, and his nano boost to defensive res. Oh, hammered down as well. Looks like the offense is doing the best they can to stay on this point. Tracer bomb coming out, or D.Va bomb coming out as well, I should say. That's gonna be negated a little bit by Zenyatta's healing. Actually, Zenyatta's the only one left along with Genji on the point versus D.Va. D.Va's gonna try to get a little bit of damage in there if she can, but is gonna have to fight a Roadhog, and does get taken out from mech fairly quickly there. Looks like the skirmish is going all out on the point here. Roadhog even popping his whole hog on the point. We actually have a Soldier Ling Ling popping his ult as well, and that looks like it's gonna be a cleanup for the Meat Masters once again. They had to pop a lot of ults to keep that point though.
But at the same time, Sigma Force popped nearly all of theirs. The res is out of play. I saw every single ultimate go off in that last 16.
Yeah.
Again, what an excellent job of delaying and holding out the point. There was a moment where Zenyatta and his pupil Genji were the only characters defending point A, and yet they danced around, they touched the point, they kept Sigma Force occupied until reinforcements could arrive. Randall Thor even took a couple of kills in that late fight. So excellent counter dive defense coming out here, and 20 seconds for Sigma Force to get on the point.
And they're getting on the point as quick as they can. Once again, Winston hopping into that top area with D.Va and Genji. going for a big fight in the house there. It does look like Reinhardt's going to go down, and we do have Anna go down as well. Anna's respawned just now, but it looks like Soldier goes down as well. We have a D.Va fighting a Roadhog in the corner and a Genji on the point, but it looks like the defense has finally fallen back. We did get a monkey ult there at the end from the Sigma Force. It looks like they're finally going to take this first point. Well played. And how is that push different from the last ones, Gnome?
Well, for starters, I think their ult economy was better. Their focus fire was better. You know, it's essential in a dive comp that everybody be trying to kill one unlucky soul at a time for that to pull off. And if we're finally able to get that engagement that they wanted.
We have an interesting hold here from the defense. We actually have a Zenyatta with the Soldier on top. I like that a lot. We do have Winston coming in trying to do a little bit of damage to the Roadhog. A Roadhog is going to fall back. That engagement by both teams is just going to fall away on the right-hand side, but it does look like Sigma Force is pushing.
But they're not protecting. Exactly. They're holding the high ground, and they're able to do a lot of damage from up there, but they're not contesting the card at all. They're letting it get all the way up to the saloon while fighting all around the back alley, on the rooftops. It's only now that a real side-to-side engagement is happening.
We do have a Genji ult coming out, as well as a barrier drop. All the ults just came out at once from the defense here, and we do have them going in for the whole hog as well, but that's, even if you hammer down on the point, they really did clean up that push there from the offense, and now they are all on the ground holding it down. It looks like the Meat Masters really just popped all their ults there, except for the Soldier ult.
My ultimate is ready.
That was a decisive hold, but I'm not a fan of the Earth Shatter. Obviously, they wanted to hold on to an ult since now Sigma Force is going in with 4 to theirs 1. But the Earth Shatter was superfluous. It went off, and then especially into Whole Hog, that just blasts all your targets away from you. Outside of that, good engagement.
It looks like we do have Sigma Force actually coming in here to the top area with a Lucio and a Soldier and a D.Va trying to take that high ground. Winston on their team does go down, though. That's going to be a little bit of a push negated there. D.Va does go to sleep and is then pulled in by a Whole Hog. Wow, pulled in by Roadhog, I should say. But does pop a pretty decent looking ult on the point there. Looks like we do have Soldier, Genji. Soldier finally popping his ult. Genji does get pulled in with a hook, though. Winston comes in for the reinforcements. D.Va's back online as well. But it looks like the defense is holding fairly strong here. We actually have the monkey popping his rage on the point, but he's going to get pulled in and shot down by the defensive team here as well. Defense is holding very strongly, and the Meat Masters look like they're actually starting to win this ult economy once again.
And they only have 10 seconds to turn the tide, so unless something fantastic happens out of, and with one of their healers already down in the pre-fight, I don't think it's happening. Can they get on the point? Can they touch it? Blasted away by the Whole Hog. He's diving in for it. Where is this going?
Oh, man. I was looking at the points as well. We actually had Meat Masters Genji Randall pop his ult as well. He got like a 4K with that ult and cleaned up the offensive team. The offensive team really doesn't have time to push, and that's going to be the end of the game. Well played, well played.
Final score. 1.
I gotta say, I was a big fan of Sigma's dive comp on that first point. I know that Meat Masters, I feel like they had a better game on defense than on offense. Their offense struggled a lot, but their defensive game, they really seem to have a good sense of the ebb and flow of the engagements, what the valuable targets were. Their stagger play was fantastic. So I got to hand it to their defensive section.
While that is notice that the team on the Fed was the
Meat
Masters. They were building better ult charge. You even called out earlier on that they had an ult advantage, but they were able, by using the terrain, not being on the point, but keeping higher ground, taking less hits and building more of their own, they were able to build ult charge back up before the other side, Sigma, was able to even get theirs. So while it was almost like this tactical misstep, they kept bending, letting them push into their trap, and then they would pin them down and take them.
Very good analysis there. Thanks you for the comments, man. It looks like the next map is going to come up. What's the next map for us, Gnomes?
Next up, we're going to be playing on Eichenwald. Again, both teams originally have King's Row as one of their home maps, but because of that, that map is eliminated from the map. So we switch over to Eichenwald, and Meat Masters, since this is not their home map, gets to pick attack or defense first.
So was that Meat Masters' home map?
Yes, that was Meat Masters' home map, and Sigma Force decided to attack first.
Well, we can see why it's their home map. Their defense was on point, and they did a great job of really falling back and then pushing forward once again right into the Sigma Force there. Now, Game Jammin', we do have you on the producer side. Did you see anything that you thought was very interesting from both these teams? And was there anybody in particular you loved watching during this fight?
I was actually very impressed with... Sorry, I'm a little bit sick. Roadhog's defense was actually pretty impressive. I was afraid it wasn't going to be a good choice on defense, although he normally is a good choice on defense, because I feel like he has a hard time countering the defensive meta, or the dive meta. But he did a really good job holding ground. There was quite a few good hooks that were thrown in there, and I was also very impressed with the Ana sleep darts. They seemed to be on point. There was quite a few times where I was like, "Oh my gosh, how did you hit that?" It was pretty amazing.
Yes, the Ana sleep darts were on point. I think D.Va was put to sleep like 3 or 4 times during that match for the Sigma Force. So the defensive Ana was just really putting in a lot of work. I noticed that as well. The whole hogs from the Roadhog, the reason they're called Meat Masters is specifically because they're proud of their Roadhog. So he was doing great, not only in putting out the hooks, but also putting out his actual ult and pushing the whole team off the cart during the defensive time there. So I was really impressed by the Meat Masters. I'm looking forward to Sigma Force being in their own terrain here at Eichenwald. And we are going into the map right now. Gnomes, what are you looking forward to in this match?
Well, this is my team's home map. Ninjaman Matt and I have spent many, many fond hours on offense and defense of this map, so we're very excited to see the defensive and offensive play coming out. There's a lot of interesting options, and the main tactic, the opening tactic that a team takes, especially in the different sections of the map with their very, very different geography, is very definitive for the type of strategy and practice that they've put in. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Meat Masters, if they use different tactics, or if the tactics they were already using end up being more productive here.
And I'm actually looking forward to Shamfest going as Junkrat. He is going as Junkrat, already out of the spawn, puts his little bomb down and suicides immediately. Okay, never mind. It would have been cool to see, man. They had our hopes up for so long.
The only good Junkrat is a dead Junkrat.
Oh, man. He does switch off to Roadhog, which is a good choice. I wonder what you guys think about the recent Roadhog nerf, actually, that came out of Blizzard.
Well, if I recall, that's still on the PTR. It has not yet gone live. So we're going to see Roadhog mains continue to ride that hog as long as possible. I suspect that this is going to modify... where was it? It's going to modify the role of Roadhog. And he's still going to be a good enforcer, but like so many of the other changes that they're making, it is going to require more team effort. It's going to require coordination to make it work.
It does look like we are stuck with the classic Roadhog for now. We do have Meat Masters on the offensive here, Sigma Force on the defense, and here we go with the gates open. We do have a Genji coming out from the front line fairly quickly. He's going to notice that this Reinhardt shield is right up underneath that bridge. So he's going to try to pepper a couple shuriken in there. Not really do too much damage. We do have Roadhog actually coming in from the left-hand side. Randor for Meat Masters finally coming in, doing a little bit of damage on the D.Va, but it's not going to be too much. Once again, they're really just trying to build their ults and figure out which approach they want to take from this point. What kind of
choke on this particular map can be dangerous, except sometimes it pays off when somebody gets out of position, like we just saw there. Now that sneaky sleep coming around the side, one of the things that can really make you suffer on a map like this is when the enemy breaks through your lines. You need to have a very clear delineation of whose job it is to do what. You need to know exactly who's going to fall back to defend the point and who is going to stand their ground.
It looks like we do have the offensive Reinhardt go down fairly quickly there. Death Dragon doing a great job of fighting that Reinhardt back, but he does have a Roadhog behind him. Roadhog's gonna go in there and get a little bit of damage, but does get taken out. He had the Discord orb on him and had a soldier shooting him in the back. So it looks like the offense, Meat Masters, is trying to do a little bit of damage. Zenyatta does get taken out by Destroyer Dragon, and it looks like they're gonna have to come back underneath this bridge. And we do have a little bit of a Reinhardt battle going on in the front here, but Meat Masters is really going to fall back and kind of hold their point. I'm actually really like... Oh, go ahead there.
Ultimate advantage. Notice how it's ticking up in favor of Sigma Force. Meat Masters is at a slight disadvantage here. So this next engagement, any moment now, 3 or 4 different ults are going to come online. Watch for fireworks.
Oh yeah, we do have a D.Va going to sleep in the back there. Roadhog going for a little bit of a hook, doesn't quite get one. Defense is really letting the Meat Masters go into the left-hand side. but it does look like they're not going to get too much closer to the point. D.Va does activate her ult on the point, with the hammer down as well, but it's not going to get any kills, and that's actually going to cause Hayes to come in on the point as Zenyatta pop his ult a little bit, but it's not going to be it's really just kind of solidifying his team on the point. It looks like we actually do have a couple people from both teams going down here, but it looks like Sigma Force is going to hold this point fairly well. I'm going to go ahead and push back to the bridge position.
If I had to use one word to describe that last engagement, it would be chaos. We had mid-fights going on all over the side. We had Roadhog with what looked like a very clear advantage coming out of the central tower and then getting dropped just because of an unexpected soldier flank. That engagement was all over the place, and it's lucky for the defenders it turned out the way it did, especially dropping 2 ults.
If you notice, actually, they're utilizing a triple tank defense on the blue side, and they actually did pretty well. Not one tank is stuck in the they were kind of just switching out, making sure that they weren't all focusing on one of them at a time, which I think really helped them not get knocked out of that fight.
Didn't help him against that Nano Blade, though.
No, not at all.
That Nano Blade took out the soldier, the Ana, I think it took out Zenyatta as well. It was the picks that they needed, and they got that point very quickly after that. It looks like we have a Roadhog still on the point, trying to do a little bit of damage, but he's going to get taken out fairly quickly there, basically just suiciding to get back with his team there. And we finally have defense or offense pushing the cart.
So the real question of this next phase is defensive positioning, and based on what heroes you take, you're going to take different options. This is the single highest high ground in Overwatch at this time. Using these different layers of high ground, that's on the very tallest tower. Using these different layers is important. This is some of the best ground in the game, but at the same time, you have to make a major engage onto the cart. Otherwise, they're just going to keep proceeding as you see them going here. With the defenders, there's not even an engagement here. They're just giving free cart.
Yeah, but we do have them holding up on the top, and we do have a Nano Boost visor coming out, but Roadhog does get a good hook on that. Doesn't quite kill him though, and that Nano Boost is actually going to keep going. Takes out the Roadhog. Offense is slowly but surely falling apart with his own. There's Zenyatta down as well. We do have a Soldier and D.Va coming in on Reinhardt. Reinhardt goes down. Soldier, if only you look behind you, you see an Ana, and Ana's going to be taken down as well. The defense doing a great job. Sigma Force holding very well now that they actually engaged the cart there.
Let's talk about the Rhine positioning in that last fight. Ninja Man Matt, you main Rhine, and we saw that Rhine engagement where he charged in, missed. He was flanked on both sides of the cart and managed to survive. I didn't see any Ana fire going into him, or even an orb of harmony. What do you think got him out of that situation?
You know, I think really, as you pointed out, red team especially is getting very broken up. When the fights get chaotic, they tend to spread out, and I think it's because even though he was getting flanked on both sides, one of them was focusing on the Rhine, the other one was focusing on the rest of the team, slightly behind and off to Rhine. And I think if they would have focused their fire, they either could have gotten out of there or at least taken Rhine out before dying.
All right, let's talk about this current fight. What do you see tough on dirt?
We do have a fight going on in-house. It's finally gotten out of the house. Looks like Meat Masters are on the point and actually pushing it pretty well. They have taken down most of the defense. We do have a D.Va in the back with a Genji who's going to try to contest this point. It's only an Ana and a Soldier and a Genji on the point here. But it looks like they're going to clean up Genji and clean up D.Va pretty well and actually get this part rolling here. Defense is going to make a hold at this house, though. Lucio's already on the point saying, group up with me to his teammates. And we do have a hammer down that actually came out of Reinhardt there. I don't know if that was the best hammer down I've seen, but it certainly did happen.
I gotta say, the hammer down was sick. The complete lack of follow-up was less so. That was excellent positioning by the Rhine, except it lacked the context of fire to take advantage, because he dropped down behind them and got, like, all of them. He was just alone.
And you know, I would like to say that we can see actually that he changed off to Winston, so he likely was planning to leave anyway before he wanted to drop the bang.
Gotcha. Makes sense. And we do have a lot of ults coming out on the point right now. It looks like the entirety of Sigma Force has used their ults. That's going to mean that the defense is going to have the ult advantage. But Sigma Force could push this, or looks like we could push this cart. Meat Master. Oh, I'm sorry. Sigma Force is defending this cart pretty well here, but we're going to have a big push coming in from Meat Masters since they do have their ults ready. I'm looking forward to see a Genji ult myself go into that cart, man.
Look at the advantage that playing the Bomb Mercy combo gives them on this map with its insane verticality and its many different gaps. Last chance to get on the point. Randall Thor sneaking in around the behind. Engagements all around. What's going on here? Big Earth Shatter coming out.
Ooh, but we do have a Genji Nano Boost in as well. He's going to go in. Goes to the fair. Gets the fair. Very well played. Going for the Winston if he can. Gets the Winston as well. And that's going to be a very good push for Meat Master here. But the res comes in. Huge res. And that's going to hold That's going to mean the defense holds this point very well.
Oh, that was a heartbreakingly good res on the part of Ethereum. That was the fight going absolutely Meat Master's way. An excellent whole hog going off, excellent Genji play. Everything was coming up red, and then Ethereum slips right in there with a triple res. That is a decent candidate for play of the game.
Wow, that was awesome, guys. If you guys missed that point, I think you missed probably one of the best points in the game. But I do love seeing reses like that. Where was she hiding, and how did she get in there so quickly?
The engagement was primarily happening with Meat Masters coming in from the front, if you will. Mm-hmm. And she was hiding just off in one of the two rooms on the side. I want to say she was closer by the tower room, and she slipped in. And that was just territory they didn't have control over. And in any of those... Now, the timer was ticking down, which is why they had to take the engagement no matter what. But in any other circumstance, if you know Mercy is lurking, and Mercy has seen a huge uptick in play recently, you really have two options. Option one is to find her and get her. Option two is to keep ults in your pocket and expect it. And if you're not expecting it or you don't have time to react to it, then you're going to have a bad time.
And I'll be honest, I don't think anybody expected that ult, because that was huge, and it cleaned up the point immediately. I know I didn't expect it.
Hello.
And this is something actually that Gnomes has brought up among our team. A lot of times when people are eventually to the points, really, unless they can get clear and easy pick, you'll spend a lot of time dishing out trash damage, which while that can be kind of nice to build up your ult, you're opening yourself up to take up chips anyway. That can either kill you outright, delaying your team's advance, or in the case of Mercy, their team was taking damage. She was able to build her ult. It was at 79% before that last fight, and she was able to get it all the way to 100 right when she needed it because of that chip damage proceeding into the fight.
I was looking at the Sigma cam here. They were actually playing D.Va's video game. The whole team was watching D.Va play her video games. That was pretty cute. I think that's part of their ritual, I guess you could say. But it looks like they're gonna go ahead and come out the left-hand side here, going very quickly with that Lucio, and they're gonna actually go straight up this left-hand side, going around the corner once again. Looks like they're just trying to stay away from damage mostly, and do engage that bridge there, but they go around it completely. Reinhardt's actually in the back, trying to catch up. Does get a charge on D.Va there, doing a little bit of damage. D.Va does get taken out of her mech though, and it looks like the defense is going to do a pretty good job of holding up there. We do have a fair on top, putting out a lot of damage onto the point there. Crumb does go down in the end though, and we do have the defense holding fairly strong. Lucio does get hooked and does taken down fairly quickly there. Winston trying to go in, but does get taken down once again. So the offense is going to have to make another push there, but that was a very good dry push. It got them very deep in on that point.
I'm starting to have flashbacks from the last match. I was mostly impressed with the coordination of that dive. They all went around the left-hand side. They all moved. It started out well, but they're playing into a very, very tough group, and if they didn't have the focus fire they need, especially with no Zenyatta to provide those orbs, if they don't have that focus fire, they don't really have a lot of options.
Once again, a fight going down on the point, but it looks like Witz already gets taken out for the offensive team here. Lupera and Mercy are going to go in and try to do a little bit of damage on this left-hand side, but the offense is really trying to figure out which way they want to approach. Genji's going to come in, finally take his ult out, going for the Ana, gets the Ana, but has to find Reinhardt and falls back with his team. Going for the defensive Genji, actually, but defensive Genji gets launched huge into the air, and that's when we have Mercy on the point, healing up a little bit for the defense. Lucio on the point for the offense, trying to get a little bit of cap time. Oh, but that's when Pharaoh comes in and does take out the Mercy, looks like, for the defensive team. Tactical Advisor coming in from Ling on the defense. Can he get the kills he needs to hold this point? Doesn't get too many kills, actually, and has to fall. And it looks like the defense is having a little bit of trouble holding this point now.
They're having a little bit of difficulty because, again, the dive comp is not finding the targets it needs. Randall Thor coming out on the defense with the Dragon Blade, going after the squishy targets. Genji, only a ninja can stop a ninja, and this is just, it looks like this dive needed to happen in 20 seconds, and it's taking 30-40 seconds.
Oh yeah, it looks like the offense is going to finally fall back. Sigma Force needs to find a way to really get it together. Mech does come in for Hay, so she's going to have a little bit more damage. The Roadhog was trying to take her out there, but the defense is holding up very strongly, and they're holding very close to the point, not engaging this bridge as much as you normally see. But that just means that they have a stronger core in the end.
Notice the Mercy ultimates. Ethereum is now up. Zekas is at 90%. Self-destruct going off on the point. Really, it's going to come down, I think, to the Mercy play in the next engagement.
I hope to see that come soon. Well, we do have a Winston down on the point for the offense and a Farrah down as well. Defense doing a very good job taking down the Lucio if they can. Lucio is a very squishy character, but at the same time does have that healing factor, so he's staying on the point. Genji does come out with his Dragon Blade, trying to get a kill on somebody. Doesn't quite get the kills that he needs, though. The defense is holding up fairly well. We do have a Winston raging on the point, does take down the Ana. Is going for the Reinhardt as well, but really just trying to push them off the map if you can. And whoa, almost pushes Reinhardt. Reinhardt has to charge back in. That was awesome, man. But the defense is doing a great job of just staying alive and really pushing these pushes back, man. That was awesome Reinhardt work there.
That was one of the highlights so far. I gotta say another highlight, though, it may have happened off camera, was I caught Etherean out-dueling Ling, Mercy to Soldier. It didn't win the fight, but, you know, someone saw that.
This is the last push coming in from Sigma Force. They're actually taken to the high ground. We have D.Va and, but there comes the res in from Mercy. Mercy's going to res a Soldier in there, and that's going to mean that Soldier has a little bit more defense on the team. We do have a hammer down coming in from the defense as well, and that's going to get the Winston. Take out the Winston. D.Va does pop her ult, but then the res comes in as well. Lucio taken down for the offense by Roadhog. Roadhog's going in for the Winston as well if he can. Winston staying alive on the point, but not for much longer. Does get taken down. May trying to go in the last little bit, goes into a little ice cube, may be able to hold this point just a little bit longer for her team. But it looks like overtime's going away very quickly, and that's going to be the game for the Meat Masters. Well played.
Game, set, and match. Well played to both sides. And I really think that one of the major problems that Sigma Force had going, I liked a lot of their gameplay, but it was kill confirmation. I wasn't always able to catch what happened, but if I can tell one thing, it's that Meat Master's defensive integrity was very strong. Their defensive cohesion was very strong. So their ability to play around the dive and dodge it. Is this going to be the one on the bridge?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this res. Notices that all her teammates are dying. Comes out of nowhere. Huge res for the team, and that's going to mean that the defense is back in business, boys. Cleaning up that point and really securing that game win. That was awesome, man. I loved that res.
See, I think a lot of times when a Mercy goes in and res, they forget they can not just stand there for a moment, they can switch to the gun and kill some people while they're invincible for the next second or so.
Yeah, and we saw she did get a kill on Genji, so not to mention a little bit of contribution on the Roadhog. So excellent Mercy play out of Etherean. If I know Sigma Force didn't take home the win, but gotta hand it to some of their individual players and some of their individual plays that they make. You can tell that there are certain concepts that they grasp very well. They were just struggling against the really strong defense and defensive
very fluid defense, like you mentioned.
Exactly.
Very fluid defense, yes. I was looking forward to a little more of a pickish class from Sigma Force there. If they had picked their picks a little better and taken out characters that they needed to take out, they would have done a great job of really infiltrating, I should say, that defense there. And Game Jammin', what did you see from those two games before we head on out?
Okay, I had felt so bad. You said there was an amazing Reinhardt play, and I had just switched away from him. But that being said, it was a quite amazing game to watch. The Mercy plays were clutch. I actually really liked at the very end when Mercy rezzed the solo soldier. And that was actually clutch because Ling ended up coming in with an ult and was able to help clean up the site. So Ling was getting tons done as soldier. And then not to mention the Genji ults were on point. For both sides, actually. But it ended up going Meat Master's way. I am super impressed with their defense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the real star here. Even you saw it they're named after their Roadhog. And I really think that the Roadhog shone more on defense than on offense, with the exception of a couple of plays on Eichenwald underneath the bridge, a couple of hooks punishing people for being out of position. You know, well done on that. But it was really the zone defense play of Roadhog that came out there.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, as we go out, thank you so much for watching the stream. If you guys want to catch more streams like this, if you guys want to see more casting like this, if you guys want to become a part of the community, number 1, check us out on Twitter. Number 2, check us out on Discord. And number 3, check us out on our website. It's all in the information below, guys. And hit that like button in the corner if you can. It helps out the stream. And actually, some of these casters have their own channel. Hit up Game Jam, and he's got a great YouTube channel going on. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We do stream every week, so just come back here at the same time, and we'll be having another game for you guys. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I am Tough on Dirt, along with Tormented by Gnomes and Game Jammin', and we'll see you next week.